today's bloggy thingy. Today we are joined by a very, very special guest, and that is the cat. So, Dennis, are you gonna say hello to the camera? No, you're just gonna sit there on my bed as if you're the king. Oh well. So yeah, and as well as us being joined by a very special guest, this is also the first blog that I have officially made during the official winter of 2012 or 2012. Now, we had a very big summer, which everyone celebrated. We're now into the winter, and boy, oh boy, oh boy, does it feel like winter. Thursdays are my day off, so I go and work for my dad in his office, kind of ironically writing a blog for his business. And you know, I'm sitting there, it's all boring, hating where I am. You know, he never really gives me many instructions, just sort of says work, and I'm supposed to just work, and I'm sitting there staring at a computer screen for hours on end, as I do at college and at home. Why is the world run by computers now? And it wasn't even 4 o'clock yet. It was genuinely 3:59 according to my computer screen, and I looked out the window and it was dark. Now, yes, I know it's been getting dark early for a very long time now, and I mentioned it in the last blog and all that, but it is just so depressing. Especially when the day, the small amount of day, is quite bright. Like, there wasn't many clouds today. I know in places like Wales they've had loads and loads and loads of rain, but we didn't in London. You know, I was walking down the high road, both my high road and my dad's office's high road, and you know, it's just got that nice, there was lots of wind, so it's just that nice, like, crisp, cold winter feel in the air, which I quite like. And, but it goes so quick, which is really annoying. But that's not what this blog is actually about. I'm here today to talk to you about Christmas, because yet again, Christmas has just taken over the world, probably far too much sooner than it should have. I mean, the first time I saw Christmas things was right at the beginning of October. I walked in off the high road into my local Boots, and they were putting up their banners for the 3 for 2 on Christmas presents. And you're like, why would I be buying Christmas presents when it's not even, you know, we've not even had Halloween yet. And then I went into the shop next door, which is our local Waitrose, and it's like their sweet aisle. The first half is Halloween, of course, because it's still October. The second half is really like Christmas stuff, and you're just like, what? This is pathetic. I swear it gets earlier every year. Like, in a couple of years we'll be celebrating Christmas before Christmas is even over. Like, it's just getting wrong. And I mean, I went into Waitrose again today, and they've now got their Christmas crackers out, and you know, the whole thing is just about Christmas. TV adverts are solely Christmas. I have to say, you know, I've been studying adverts in school, and the one college even, and the one that I analysed, tore apart to pieces, was last year's John Lewis advert. I'm quite disappointed in this year's, in that it just doesn't have that little spark that last year's did. My favourite campaign even is the Tesco's ad campaign, in that I like the way they've done lots of short little ones with all different things, and they're all quite funny in a way. Like, the first one they put out was one about Furbies. Like, I now officially want a Furby, and I'm 17, so yeah, I think that says something. But I mean, you know, I'm standing here saying this quite strongly and quite productive. I'm sure there's a word that begins with pro that says the way I'm saying it, but I don't know what that word is. So you know, I'm standing here quite strongly and saying that this is just ridiculous. But then again, you know, I think it's because I'm slightly disconnected from the world at the moment, in that I spent the first 7 educational years of my life in a CLV primary school, where, you know, leading up to Christmas is all about originally the nativity, where, you know, you've got to get ready for the nativity, but then they realised that the nativity, which was mainly year 6s, was stopping people from doing well in their SATs, which now no longer exist, so it was the the big Christmas concert in the church. And, you know, there's all that, you know, making the cards, making stockings, everything that you do in a school. Then the next half of my educational life was spent in a Jewish school because I'm Jewish, and you know, although we're not celebrating Christmas, there was all this build up to Hanukkah. You know, you're learning about the Hanukkah story or lighting candles in school. There's always a big Hanukkah fair just before where we have like bouncy castles and we're trying to raise money for charity and all that kind of stuff. But now I'm at like a non-religious college, and the only build-up really is to when all our work is due in. Like, that's the only sign there is that Christmas is on its way, that our deadline is coming, and it's kind of odd, and it's kind of disorientating in a way. It's like, what? Christmas is nearly here? No one told me that. I've got a T-Rex on my mug. See that? It's a T-Rex. I'm dipping cookies into herbal tea. Now, you're probably sitting there thinking, you know, how does this girl have the right to be complaining about Christmas when, you know, one, she's just told us that she's Jewish, and two, she's told us that she's really not building up to it much herself and feels completely disconnected from Christmas? Well, I'm going to tell you, because despite the fact I don't believe in the story of Christmas to the full extent that people that celebrate Christmas do, you know, Christmas still plays a big part in my life. You know, I spent the first 7 years of my life, well, from 4 to 11, being taught about Jesus and Christmas and all of it, and, you know, my English A-level class was surprised that I knew the Lord's Prayer by heart still, and I can even sing it if you want, you know, and, but, I mean, we do the same sort of thing every year in Christmas, in that we meet up with my mum's oldest brother and his family. And it used to be that we did alternating who would host it, but now it's mainly they host it, because my mum does Pesach, which is Passover, which is a Jewish festival, and they do Christmas, and but you don't need to know that. Basically, we have a big family meal with a turkey and all the trimmings, and then we attempt to get home in time to watch Doctor Who, which is like, Doctor Who is the most important thing about Christmas, right? You know, I don't want to offend anyone when I say that, but that is the truth. Like, oh my god, like, the trailer came out the other day, and it looks good, you know, like, it's been a letdown recently, but oh my god, Doctor Who looks good, but, you know, that's Christmas. And so, yeah, we acknowledge Christmas, and we acknowledge all the Christmas TV, and we know the story behind it. And, you know what? There is a lot of proof that Jesus existed. There's a whole Bible about him. So I'm not saying he didn't. I don't think he's the Son of God or anything, you know. But I do believe that there was, you know, a preacher called Jesus who knew how to fish and bake and managed to get people fish and bread. But you know, while I'm talking about how we celebrate Christmas, I think this is a good chance for me to teach you, non-Jewish viewers, a little bit about what people consider to be the Jewish version. You see, we celebrate Chanukah, which is basically our festival of light, and it lasts 8 days, and it's the story of the Maccabees in that they and I think I've not really and they after the so basically it's the story of the Maccabees. You can search it on Google, you can search it anywhere, and it's our festival of light. So for 8 days we light candles and say some prayers, sing some songs. We get presents, though because it's very early this year, my mum's going to do it on Christmas Day instead, because my sisters were very into the fact, you know, what they were learning in school as young kids, and they're kind of obsessed with having a Christmas tree and hiding all our Hanukkah presents under a Christmas tree. which just makes a load of mess because it's one of those like B&Q small ones. My grandma got it somewhere for cheap. And yeah, so we like candles and we eat chocolate money. I'm not quite sure why that is. You know, I feel like I'm just making a giant fool of myself here. I'm standing here talking about something I should know like the back of my hand, and I know nothing about it. And I'm like, I'm gonna teach you. And I'm like, hang on a sec, I don't know this. So I think I better come to an end before I go on for much too long until I embarrass myself, before I embarrass myself anymore. So thank you for watching this. And if you liked it, like it below. If you'd like me to tell you a bit more about Jewishness, like it. And also, because I cut my last film too early, have a look at it. If you want me to make more fashion blogs, I've got lots in my head of ideas I want to do. I've got one that I'm like a whole page worth written in my head right now that I want to do, but I can only do it if people want to see it. So if you liked my fashion blog and you want me to do another blog about fashion, then press the like button below, give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't yet, just come on, just subscribe. It's so easy. And you know, I'll always subscribe back if you have a page yourself. So, you know, please, goodbye.